Deets. In association with What's Good Calgary, starring your host, Duddy Does It. Featuring Connor Curran, the local legend from Local Laundry.
We got the video. I spilt all over myself like an idiot. I had a lot of options of clothes to wear today. It turns out I have like 12, 13 Local Laundry.
At least.
Yeah. It was between this. I narrowed it down. This is going to bother me forever. Do they dry fast?
Oh, yeah. Quick dry.
It was between, I almost wore that, but I wore it for my intro video we made for the podcast. I'm wearing that. And then it was between this and it's like a one-off, kind of looks like Miami Vice. What's that one?
Our limited laundry.
Yeah. That one's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
Retro Rockies.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, there's only 25. I only made 25 of them.
I have one.
I know. You're one of our top fans. You do. We have a list, and you're.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have. Okay, let's get going here. I have here. Welcome, John from Fiverr. That's in my notes.
John _Manual 1.
Yeah, that's you, right?
That is me.
Yeah, I saw you on Instagram.
That is me. Is there any way I could turn down the volume of my headphones?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I'm allowed.
It's this one. So the second one.
Okay, that's perfect.
You can adjust it how you want.
No, that's perfect.
John from Fiverr.
Yeah, I just feel bad for the guy because he's using my videos to try and make money, and he's not going to get very far. So he's just wasting his time.
Yeah, that's weird. Do you feel?
It's a very common thing. I've seen a lot of people. You know, like I had multiple people pretending to be Cody Sanchez reach out. Kevin O'Leary, but even like smaller people like myself, you know, like I had a buddy of mine, he's a realtor influencer here in town, Mike Sherrard. He reached, like, someone tried to steal his, Zach Hartley.
So weird when that happens. At first I saw it only happening to girls, but now it's like full business pages that look exactly the same.
Yeah. And if you were to look at it, you wouldn't know any difference because, like, well, mine, you'll see, like, his views are almost exactly the same, but the other people, like, their view count was the same, their following count was the same, and you're like,
Yeah, no, that's why I had John from Fiverr. This whole interview is for John. Like, are you still competitive in StarCraft?
Very.
No, just kidding. So, Connor Curran, Local Laundry.
That's me.
Can you give us a little bit about yourself, the audience, what you do, and who you are?
Absolutely. My name is Connor Curran. I'm one of the co-owners of Local Laundry. We are Canada's most caring clothing company on a mission to donate $1 million to local charities by 2030. Come follow us and join us through our online store at locallaundry.ca and our custom clothing line.
Awesome.
Done.
Yeah. You've done that a couple times, hey?
I practiced this morning. I was really nervous.
I've seen you've been doing podcasts. You do quite a few podcasts.
Yeah, I have a tough time. Anyone who has a podcast, I always just say yes.
Yeah.
Because why not?
You've done more than me. I'm probably more nervous than you.
Don't be.
I heard someone told you that we looked like twins.
I've had multiple people mess me. Some people thought you were stealing my videos, pretending to be me.
That's funny.
There's some pictures. I mean, you're always in Local Laundry.
Yeah.
And you're always posting pictures. I'm always in Local Laundry posting pictures. Both got beard, brownish hair.
Yeah.
And multiple people were like, "Is this you?" I'm like, "No, that's not me." "Is that your cousin?" "No, that's not my cousin."
That's hilarious.
People think we look alike. We're each other's dog. I don't know if that's a good thing for you or not. I mean, I don't know if people are like, man. Jeff.
They're always asking me for money. Like, hey, you have Local Laundry. Can I have some money?
Or free clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do see those ads of the two of us quite often on Instagram. Maybe I'm just the target market.
No, man, sex sells, so got to give the people what they want.
Yeah. So how did you get started in this company?
Right. It was, so I got laid off from oil and gas. I worked in oil and gas here in Calgary. Got laid off. Decided, got to figure out what I want to do with my life. I moved to Sweden to do my MBA there. And it was there that I decided, you know, I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I want to start my own business. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. My parents are entrepreneurs. They came from Ireland, started, and they did what any Irish immigrants do when they move to a new country. They opened up an Irish pub. And I really liked how they built the life for themselves. They built the business. They used that business as a vehicle to give back to the community. And so I decided I wanted to do the same. I didn't want to take over the pub or do anything like that. I wanted to do my own thing. And so I was really kind of connected to clothing and how clothing was representation of ourselves and of our values. And so I was really drawn to how we can create clothing to connect people and build a community of people. And so I Google searched how to make a t-shirt company, watched a YouTube video, $50 later, have my own online t-shirt company.
What was the pub called?
The pub, it's still around. It's called the James Joyce Irish Pub.
Oh,
it's
James Joyce.
Yeah, it's like 2 blocks away from here.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Good
I used
for
to
them.
bartend there. St. Patrick's Day, you know, we usually work there as a family. I started there as a dishwasher. You know, it was my first job, and
I think I got rejected at an interview there once.
They probably thought you were me. They probably thought you were just trying to be funny or something.
So what was your first shirt?
My first shirt. So I'm not a designer. I didn't know how to make any shirts or anything like that. So I didn't have any money to pay for designers. So I used a website, a very sophisticated website. It's still around. It was called hipsterlogogenerator.com.
Okay. Nice.
And the original idea was to come up with designs for different Calgary communities. So Bankview, Beltline, Kensington, Marda Loop, all that sort of stuff. So I just went in and just started making up a bunch of designs with this hipster logo generator. And I just tossed on the YYC just for fun. You know, this was around, when I started, it was about 2015, and YYC really started to enter the Calgary vernacular around 2013 during the Calgary floods, right? That's when kind of social media kind of picked up and referred to as the hashtag YYC floods.
Yeah.
So it was around that time that people started referring Calgary to YYC. And so I just thought, okay, well, let's just toss this up there. And
I didn't know what started that, actually.
yeah.
I thought maybe you started it.
If that's the rumor going around, I won't deny it.
That's what I've been telling people.
But, you know, obviously it's the airport code, right? But it really took off on social media when people were doing hashtags. And it's not really popular usage of a city, you know, abbreviation in other Canadian cities. You know, no one really says YZ or YVR or YOW.
Yeah.
Some YEG a little bit.
People use area codes usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 6, you know, the 416. Yeah. And I, you know, it just, I think with the floods, it just really kind of took off in Calgary in 2013. So I thought, let's pop that on a shirt. Because I wanted something that says Calgary without saying Calgary. I was sick of the I Heart Calgary shirts at the airports or the RCMP cartoon mooses. You know, and I was like, I want something that, and I'm not a hockey fan either, so I'm not a big Flames guy, so I wanted something that said Calgary, you know, that wasn't a Calgary Flames hat or something like that, you know?
Yeah, so was this the first, the one that sort of got you to take off?
That was the one that, really
black
took
one?
off. Yeah, no one really wanted Calgary community t-shirts. No one wanted to rock a Marta Loop shirt.
Oh, that was your original name, right?
That was the original concept, you know, Calgary community t-shirts.
Yeah.
And it was always called Local Laundry, but that was the original concept. I thought that was the thing that was going to take off. And the funny thing was, when I did the YYC shirt, like I said, I'm not a designer. I didn't know how to take the background out. I didn't know how to make an image transparent.
So it was a square.
So the first 50 shirts, and you come to our warehouse, you'll see the first 50 shirts is a colored T-shirt and a big white square with a black YYC in it. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah. And this one stayed the whole time. Hey, how long have you been in business now?
We started 2015.
8-9 years?
8-9 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have this trademarked and everything. Yeah, it's our staple. But we've slowly kind of moved away from it as well. You know, as a business, you have to adapt and grow and adjust to a changing market. And we really felt our YYC was great. It kept us here in Calgary, but it hindered our ability to grow outside of Calgary. So that's why we've started to do a lot of stuff with our CAN design, you know, stuff that don't have any designs at all. But the majority of our business now is custom clothing. So 80% of our revenue comes from creating custom clothing for different companies, different organizations, you know, organizations that want something cool that their employees or customers will want to wear that is also Canadian made.
What kind of companies do you work with for that usually?
You name it, we probably worked with them, especially here in Calgary. Energy companies, bank companies, law firms, architectures, tech companies. We do sports teams.
So do you offer them like some SKUs to look at and then put their logo on it? Like that, you'll take this sweater and offer them kind of a package like that?
Exactly, yeah. We'll come up with the design, or they'll come up with the design, or we'll take their logo, put it on our clothes. We can ship it out to all their employees. We can do a little package or ship it straight to their head office. And we've kind of discovered this need in the corporate world. There's a lot of corporate swag, a lot of people, trade shows, and it's all just junk that nobody likes. Nobody looks good, and it's just barbecue covers. Everyone looks like they're going to graduation in high school.
And nobody keeps those. Those shirts go right to Value Village.
They go straight to the pajama pile, as I say. So I always say to our companies, our clients, like, stop making pajamas for people. And so, but when you create something that's premium, that's well made, that has a story behind it, it's with a company that is giving back to the charity and giving back to the community, it makes you value that piece of clothing a little bit more, and it makes you actually want to wear it.
Yeah, I did. I have a giving toque.
Yeah.
And I did a photo shoot with you, Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
Yeah.
What was that one? 93.
Yep.
I have one of those too. Yeah, that's awesome.
You've been a model in multiple shoots.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know even how it started, from Instagram somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just texted you begging you. Please.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes for me. So over time, what are some like promotion ideas or business ideas that you scrapped along the way?
Well, obviously the first thing that had to go was the community shirts.
Yeah.
It's so hard because a business is running a business. We as human beings are emotional creatures, but a business is an emotionless creature. It doesn't care how you feel, what you like, what you don't like. Business is black and white. Are you making money or are you not? Because if you can't sustain profitability, you're not going to be around long enough, right? And so there's all these certain things that we've had in our business that we loved, but they weren't moving the needle. And sometimes you gotta kill your babies in business, which sounds awful, but it's what you got to do in order to survive. So, Calgary Community T-shirts, that was the thing that started it all. That was the whole idea. That was the genesis of this thing, and we strung it along for 2-3 years, but it was just logistically it was difficult to do because it was all print on demand. There was a variety of demand for it. The people didn't like the designs and all. It was just a headache, and we looked at it and it was like not bringing in any money. So it's like, why are we focusing on this? Let's just cut it and move on.
Do you ever think of doing limited runs in that way where like let's say there's a Sun and Salsa event in Inglewood or something, and then just Inglewood shirts, like 50 Inglewood shirts or something like that?
No, limited drops, which we've done and you participated in, are very difficult because when you're dealing with shirts and you're only making 25 or 50, you're making 25 or 50 total, but you're only making maybe 6 mediums, 7 larges, and all of a sudden you have all this demand with people who want it, but you only have extra smalls and 3XLs left. It's very hard to figure out and adjust, predict. It's very hard to predict demand. It's very hard to predict like sizing. That's why if we do like limited drops, now we're kind of moving towards hats and toques, kind of a one size fits all.
Yeah.
But little things like this that we've learned, that we like it, we think it's a great idea, but if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense.
So what kind of advice would you give to someone if they wanted to start a clothing company right now? And how would you do it differently if you were starting now?
That's a great question. I would just say stop talking about it and do it. Clothing, to start a clothing company, there's no easier company to start than a clothing company. And I mean that sincerely, because I Google searched how to make a t-shirt company, watched a YouTube video, $50 later, with a print-on-demand t-shirt company, Printful, and Shopify, I had an online t-shirt company, and I could start selling. Right? That's why you see everyone and their uncle has a clothing company right now. If you have any sort of social following, you have merch, you have a clothing company, that kind of thing. So it's super easy to start a clothing company. The hard part is sticking around and making it profitable. So if you're interested in starting a clothing company, I'd just say go up, start it, and do it. one of the most common mistakes that most people start when they start a clothing company is they go out and they think they invest a bunch of money, right? They go out and buy 100, 200, 300 sweaters of a design they think is cool that they think will sell. And then it sits in their basement for years and years and they can't give it away, right? So I always say start on demand, right? Start with a minimal viable product. Start print on demand, where you're not buying any merch up front. You're only producing what you sell. So there's no risk. And you can test out a bunch of different things all at once. So we had all the communities of Calgary. We had YYC, but we had it on blue shirts, green shirts, black shirts, yellow shirts. We had it on sweaters, hats, tank tops, long sleeve tees. We were able to test out all these different things. We had hundreds of different SKUs on our website. It didn't cost us anything to have them up there, and we didn't pay for any of it until it was produced, until someone bought it. So you're able to test, and then after a couple of months, a year, you're able to see, okay, that's what we did. We're saying the YYC sweater in maroon in small and medium is selling extremely well. Who's buying it? Mostly women. This is a unisex sweater, but mostly women are buying it. There's something there. Let's invest in that. That's when we got off print on demand and we started ordering inventory in bulk in maroon, in YYC. Bulk up on the smalls, bulk up on the mediums, you know?
Yeah. So how many do you sell? How many different products do you have right now?
Right now, and that's the other thing you got to be really careful, because it's really easy just to start adding products to your clothing line, to your website, because, oh man, I see this, they got blue sweaters, we got to get blue sweaters. You know, they got toques, we got to get toques.
Yeah.
The thing that most people don't fail to understand when you're coming out with a sweater is you want a red YYC sweater. Great. Most people think that's one product. Well, it's not, because you got to carry an extra small to 2, 3XL. That's actually 7, 8 different SKUs that you got to carry for one product, and you got to have them in stock.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very easy. We want the YYC sweater in blue, black, green, yellow, and white. Now you're not talking about 6 products. You're actually talking about 60, 70 different products. Your inventory can balloon overnight, and that's what sinks most clothing companies. They put all their money into inventory, and it just sits there and doesn't sell.
Yeah, and then you'll eventually maybe have to take a loss on that.
Exactly.
Have you sourced from different places over time, or have you kind of since it stopped being print on demand?
Yeah. So print on demand, we were printing on American Apparel. Remember American Apparel?
Yeah.
Man, I used to love American Apparel. They were a great company. And we were printing on them. They made really great stuff. American Apparel went under. And so we started printing on, a variety of different things. And then we started working with a supplier that would get us, T-shirts from Mexico, hats from China, sweaters from Bangladesh, this sort of thing. And people kept asking us. He said, "You're all about building community. You're called local laundry, but your stuff is made anywhere but local. What gives?" And that's when we made the big decision back in 2018 to switch entirely to Canadian-made clothing, switch entirely to Canadian manufacturing for local laundry. And since then, we've worked with a variety of family-owned Canadian manufacturers, from our hats, our socks, our clothing, you name it. It's all done here in Canada for local laundry. And so we have manufacturers all across Canada that we have various relationships. We have decorators here all across Canada that we have great relationships with.
Yeah, that's good for the brand Local Laundry, right?
Yeah.
And you've never tried sourcing from like somewhere cheaper, like getting it made in China or something like that?
Not with Local Laundry. So Local Laundry, we do a lot of custom clothing, like I mentioned. Mm-hmm. But what we found is we kept losing deals. We kept losing opportunities because our clothing was too expensive. A lot of companies, they want to support local, but they don't have the budget for it. So what we did is we went out and acquired another clothing company. So we've actually since acquired 2 clothing companies. One is called CDN and one is called West. CDN is a great Canadian clothing company. It has used a lot of the same Canadian manufacturers that we do, but for its hats aren't made in Canada. Mm-hmm. And what that allows us, it opens the door for our custom clients saying, hey, we have a Canadian-made hat at this price, it's a premium price, or we have a non-Canadian-made hat with our other brand at this price. And it gives the option, because Canadian manufacturing is very expensive, and not everyone at all times can afford to support Canadian manufacturing. I'm a big proponent of supporting Canadian manufacturing where and when you can. But if you can't, we want to be able to give you an avenue to support us as well.
Yeah, and you're on a mission to sort of acquire a bunch of companies now?
Yes.
It seems like it.
Well, if you're a small business, you got to think of what we faced the last we've been around since 2015. You got to think of what we faced in the last 8-9 years. You know, we have the oil crash 2015, 2016. You know, we had a recession here, then we had COVID, and then now we have a high inflationary period. Like, it's just everything is going against small business, left, right, and center. And as a small business, you're on the bottom of the bottom when it comes to cost, economies of scales, and opportunities. So I really believe if you're a small business, you can't just stay the same size and expect to survive. If you're not growing, you're dying. And it's really sad because we've seen a lot of great clothing companies go under over the last couple of years because everyone had a great 2020, right, when everyone had lots of money. And ever since 2020, everyone's been going down, down, down.
Yeah.
And what you're losing is these clothing companies with fantastic value, right? And so we really see an opportunity to grow and expand by partnering and bringing on these other clothing companies and bringing them all under one umbrella, that we can leverage our resources, our collective resources together, pool our resources, right? And that way we can stand a fighting chance to survive and go up against the big guys. So
do those people stay involved?
Sometimes, sometimes not. You know, a lot of times the owners want to move on a different direction, but they just want a great custodian for the brand. And that's fine. So
you're keeping their brand separate then.
Yeah. So no intention to integrate it into Local Laundry. We definitely want to keep them separate.
Yeah.
It's similar to an idea. Do you know who Bernard Arnault is?
No. No.
Bernard Arnault
owns all those big companies, right?
Yes.
Clothing companies.
Bernard Arnault is the richest man in the world.
Oh.
I thought so.
Richest man in the world. He owns.
Louis Vuitton
Yes, LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy.
I do know. I guess
you do.
I didn't know that was even bouncing around in there.
I'll draw it out of you. I'll bring it out.
You know, twins, right?
Exactly. Same. We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
But that's what this guy did. You know, his first company that he bought was Christian Dior back in the 70s. He bought it from the French government because Christian Dior went bankrupt.
Yeah.
And the French government didn't want this crown jewel, this French national icon just to go under. So he bought it for like $14 million. Nothing, right, for Christian Dior. And he goes out and buys other luxury brands and brings them under the LVMH umbrella. And that way they can leverage all their resources, they can pool their resources, and they can grow together while maintaining separate brand identities. So we kind of want to do that just with local clothing.
Working for him. So it's a good idea, I think.
Why not? It worked for him. You know, you can see it's worked for many people throughout history. I mean, Brad Jacobs, he did this with, United Rentals and XPO.
I know one of them is buying low-end brands that are going under. I forget. Maybe it's Constellation Brands. That might be. I don't know, but
you see this all the time. We see it, like, look at the cannabis space, right? Cannabis blew up in 2019 when it was legalized and that kind of thing, and then all these brands started to go under, and now you see amalgamation. You're going to see it in the brewery scene, unfortunately, here in Alberta and across Canada. It's just a.
So how does it help your company having all these brands? It takes some pressure off Local Laundry.
Yeah, it allows us to grow and expand. So if we want to hire someone, let's say we want to hire a production coordinator, Local Laundry doesn't have to front the full load of that production coordinator salary. It can be spread across 2 or 3 companies.
Yeah.
Right? And then that production coordinator is working on bringing on, managing the production, coordinating the production for 3 brands. Or social media manager. Local Laundry couldn't afford a full-time social media manager right now.
Yeah. But the three companies can.
Exactly.
Basically, yeah.
And you do that across all your overhead, your warehouse space, your fulfillment team, shipping, packaging, shipping rates, all these things.
Do you need to expand your warehouse at all?
Yeah, we're moving in May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're growing. We're getting into a bigger warehouse.
Like twice as big, or?
Probably like 30-40%. No, I'm not the warehouse guy. Dustin is. He's, like I said, he's the smart one. So he's just managing the whole warehouse transition. But it's, about 20-25% bigger.
What's your background anyway? For before you were in oil and gas, you said. What did you take in school?
You're awful nosy, aren't you? Very personal question. No, a business. I did a business undergrad, so I did
That was because you said he was the smart one, but it seems like that would be right up your alley anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he's the smart one. He's the financial guy. He's the spreadsheet guy, the operations guy. He's got that mind for details. I'm just the loud one that goes in with the crazy ideas and see if we can make it work.
Does he have to reel you in a lot?
Yes.
What kind of crazy ideas do you have where he just rejects it?
Well, it's not that he rejects it. Like he always says, like, if it was up to me, I would just give the company away. Like, I love, I want to hire everyone. I love people. I just want, hey, we need this. We should just bring this person on. Hey, we should go buy this company. We should go buy this company.
Yeah.
Like, we should do this. And he's just like, whoa, settle down. Like, we got to pick our battles. We got to pick what's going to work, what's not going to work. We got to find out, what opportunities are going to reel in the best return on investment. This is what we can afford. This is what we can't afford.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I didn't have him, we would have been out of business years ago.
Good then. Good you have him.
You need both.
Yeah.
You need someone with the crazy ideas, right? Otherwise, a business would just never grow and it would just be the same. But if you're all crazy ideas all the time, you're just going to be taking big swing after big swing, and you're going to burn out and run out of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You like people, you're saying. When did you start organizing these meetups? What is it? Small business meetups?
Yeah. I realized that when I moved back from Sweden and I started this business, that I had no one to really talk about my business with. All my friends, they had regular 9-to-5 jobs. They weren't really interested in growing something, and that was fine. But I just wanted to talk to other people that were doing cool stuff, and that we could help each other. And so I just started reaching out to people on the internet. Like, hey, I heard you got a really cool thing. You want to go for coffee? And people would be like, this is kind of weird. Like, why do you want to meet and chat? And so I met a couple of people, and then over time I'd be like, man, I just had coffee with this other person. I think they could help you. You guys are talking about the same stuff. I'm like, man, I just met this other person that I think you could help them. And I was like, this is too many coffees. So I was like, what if we just got everyone in the room all at once and we could just meet together all at once? And so it's kind of stemmed into, different things. We have our small business, startup and beers, where we get together and just kind of chat. We, during the pandemic and that kind of thing, we had our business book club, where we all read a business book once a month and then met up online to talk about it. Right now I got business basketball club.
Nice.
Where we're all I just want to go shoot hoop and talk shop. So that's happening next Friday. If you want to come play basketball, either you guys want to come play basketball.
I'm a little short for basketball.
That's okay.
It's never really been my thing.
That's okay. I'm not good at basketball, so there's a lot of people that have never played, or it's a whole mix. And now we actually have a business buying club.
Yeah.
So we partner with Village Wealth here in Calgary. So if you're interested in buying a business, you can come hang out and chat.
Do you all kind of compete to buy businesses, or
No, it's very supportive, because most people aren't buying the same type of business.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I guarantee there's no one buying clothing companies.
Yeah.
No one is interested in buying clothing companies, and the other people in the group are buying cedar companies or buying a glass company, or you know. So it's all just about, hey, what was the lawyer that you used to close? Like, how much did it cost you? Or like, hey, any advice for when you start to take over, and like how to deal with people, all that, like that sort of stuff.
That's probably really helpful. It's hard to find things on just on your own on YouTube. It's not always explained well to people.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of assume you already know, and they're just kind of, it's almost like they know.
Yeah.
They're bragging about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so this is it's a room where we can all get together, and we're all just like, man, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. I need help.
Yeah, that's probably really helpful. I just had an idea. Are you allowed to talk about the Walmart thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like you don't want to.
I don't mind. Walmart, had a design that a lot of our customers felt were similar to our trademark designs.
Yeah.
So we reached out to them and said, this is our trademark. and they told us that they didn't believe that they were infringing on our trademark.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we posted on social media and said, do you guys think they're infringing on our trademark? You know, asking the general public, and it just kind of blew up, and people were pretty upset about it, and we got a lot of news time from it, and then eventually it led Walmart to removing those.
That's
designs.
nice that they removed it.
It is nice,
So in those groups that you have, did you discuss that with them, or did you just go to a lawyer or something?
Big time. I mean, the first thing I did was, you know, I think the most powerful thing you have when you don't know what how to do and you're looking for help is your community. So most people use LinkedIn or social media to talk about how great they are, or, hey, I just got a big job promotion. I use it to showcase how big of a dum-dum I am. Because I'll go on there like 3-4 times a week and go, I need help. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
Does anyone know how to do this, or can anyone help me, please?
That's a daunting task. Like, that's one of the biggest companies in the world, so that's probably stressful to navigate.
It's fine. I mean, everyone loves a David and Goliath story.
Yeah,
everyone wants to support the little guy. We got so much press out of it. We got so many people who've never heard of us before that wanted to come support us. We got customers that were angry, that were like rage shopping with us, you know, just to stick it to them. These things happen.
Take down the man.
Yeah, it's happened before. It's going to happen to us again. You know, we're not the first clothing company to get their designs.
Yeah. Well, that's good that you got the press and everything from that.
Yeah.
Seems a lot of support.
That's what small business is, and that's what entrepreneurs are, is taking problems and finding solutions and finding opportunities in those problems. Businesses are just a series of problems, and really good businesses are businesses that are really good at solving problems effectively and profitably. And so we saw this and go, wow, that sucks, but I think there's a way that we can spin this to our benefit. And that's exactly what we did. You know, we were really nervous about posting on social media and, nervous about dealing with their legal team, but we have the small guy card on our side, you know.
Yeah.
And we have the power for social media. We have the community that's willing to go to bat for us and speak up for us.
Yeah. How many people voted on your new mascot?
Oh, I not too many actually. That design, it didn't take off as popular as we thought.
I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sudsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got to give Sudsy another chance. But, you know.
You should get a giant Sudsy costume. And if you're doing a podcast circuit, you just show up as Sudsy from now on.
And then I could have a whole alter ego, all the things that I can't say.
Yeah.
But, maybe Sudsy's a little bit, he's a little bit
Unhinged.
foul-mouthed. Yeah. He's had a little too many cycles in his life, And so.
That would be great.
I didn't say it was Sudsy.
Yeah. You need a little bit of a voice changer, like an unhinged, high-pitched voice.
Sudsy!
Yeah. Big hamburger helper gloves on the mic. Yeah. That would be good.
It sounds like you're interviewing for a job. It sounds like this is something
I'll be Sudsy.
You'll be Sudsy.
Yeah, I'll change my name legally.
We look alike.
Yeah.
So people just assume it's me anyways.
Yeah, I'll just be like a littler version. Little Sudsy. Like an apartment-sized machine. Yeah.
Little Suds.
Yeah. Yeah, Little Suds. I like that. Where's my pen? I got to write that down later. That's funny. So what are your big plans for the future?
Big plans for the future is, again, if you're not growing, you're dying. So growth and expansion. We want to build a collective of Canadian clothing companies all across the country, and that are growing their e-commerce, growing the wholesale, but most importantly, growing the custom side of our business. Mm-hmm. Right? So we're looking to expand pretty rapidly. So we've acquired 2 companies. We're looking to acquire maybe 1 or 2 before the end of this year, and just continue to grow through acquisition. And
have you ever thought about moving to another city?
No.
What's your plan for expanding to other cities if you're not there? Maybe you don't know. Are you going to just hire a you from that city kind of thing?
Right. It's a good question, because a lot of local laundry success is because we have boots on the ground here. We're able to be here in person and have these kind of connections and conversations. while we wouldn't be able to do that as effectively with these other brands, this one brand that we just acquired, they're based out of Kelowna, right? We wouldn't be able to do it as effectively. We can't create clones of ourselves, but I think you can get 70-80% of the way there with a really strong ambassador program. So that's going to be the next thing that we're going to be looking to build over the course of this year, is a really strong ambassador program.
Yeah.
And then eventually, if in some of the bigger markets, if it need be, hire people there. But I think you can manage.
I'll be an ambassador if you want.
I mean,
I'll be the first one if you want.
You don't really have a choice.
So you do mostly custom?
Yeah.
CDN, is that mostly e-commerce, or they're in retail?
They're a little bit of retail, mostly online, a little bit of custom.
So are they all going to be custom, or are you going to have some direct sales, some retail?
All of them will be consumer facing. They'll all be direct to consumer. They'll all have a website. You could buy stuff. We'll have collections. All will have wholesale partners as well. That's another benefit of having these companies. You acquire a company and you look at their wholesale list and you say, hey, if you're interested, we have all these other great Canadian clothing companies, and then you go to your existing wholesale, hey, we just acquired this company if you're interested in wholesaling. So all will be direct to consumer, all will be wholesale, but with the push to push them more into custom clothing.
You have that map of where your orders come from. How many orders are not from Calgary, like percentage wise?
Well, now with CDN is kind of all across the country. We were really impressed with the community that they built. Is pretty evenly spread across Canada. While majority of local laundries orders are coming from Calgary, I'd say about 30% are outside of Calgary.
What about outside of Canada?
That would be a lot smaller, but about 3 to 5% of our orders come from outside of Canada.
Do you think it's
pretty cool?
Calgarians abroad?
A lot of it's Canadians abroad.
Yeah.
Australia, Europe, US. A lot of people want to bring a little piece of either YYC or the CAN design. A little piece of home with them. Or like a lot of our customers are parents here sending gifts to their kids.
Yeah.
We get a lot of boomers, a lot of boomer customers. They're the ones with money, so we're all for it.
So let's say a company wanted to set up a deal with you for custom.
Yep.
How would that go from start to finish?
They pretty much reach out and say, hey, we're looking for 100 T-shirts. This is our budget. This is when we need them by. And then we would say, do you want to come up with a design? Do you have the design? Do you want us to come up with the design? We get a couple of mock-ups, a quote, an estimate. We need about 4 or 5 weeks to turn it around. If they like it, they like it. Put it in production.
Is 100 shirts kind of the limit?
The minimum is 50. We
Okay.
have to do at least 50. If someone came and they want 10, they want 15, we can do it, but it's going to be exorbitantly expensive.
Yeah.
Just with the price of printing and that kind of thing. But typically, you're going to get your best value at 100 units per style per color.
And then, so you what was your goal for charity?
We're on a mission to raise $1 million to local charities by 2030.
Yeah.
As of this month, our year end is end of January, so we made all of our donations, and so we're at over $200,000 now.
That's awesome. How do you get those donations typically? Has it changed over time?
Yeah, so we've donated to almost every charity in Calgary that you can imagine. If you can think about it, we've donated to it. We are charity agnostic. We don't just stick with one cause. Our community is built up of many different people with many different causes to support, and we want to support as many as we can. And so a lot of them come in different forms. So we have our giving garments, so our giving toques, socks, and blankets. Every one that we sell, we donate 1 for 1 to a shelter. We just dropped off 2,000, I think it's 2,000 toques, 1,000 pairs of socks to Woods Homes here in Calgary just a couple weeks ago. So that's a big component of it. We also have our charitable campaigns. We have like our ATB Pride campaign that we've raised over $25,000 for different Pride initiatives here in Calgary. We're coming up in April is Autism Awareness Month. We partner with local Codette LaBarbara here in town. Her son has autism, so we come out with Riders Crew every year to support different autism-related charities. We're about to launch something pretty spicy with the Calgary Flames with CDN to raise money for the Flames Foundation. So stuff like that.
I thought you were about to announce it here.
I wish. Soon.
This will be out in a while anyway. It'll probably be out by then, actually.
Yeah.
I'm doing, from my first episode, I had an actor, Joe Perry, on, and I'm starting a GoFundMe for the food bank, because
Is Joe Perry? Who's Joe Perry?
He's a local actor.
I think I've heard of him.
He's in Vertigo, Theater Calgary, some Netflix and Amazon shows. But he's from Calgary, and I went to the Christmas Carol, and they did a food bank drive. So I'm doing a GoFundMe for that.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean,
love
that's
charity.
That's the one thing. The reason we picked $1 million is because I saw all these companies writing $1 million checks and go, oh man, I don't have $1 million to donate, like a piece of garbage. But we wanted to prove that just because you're a small business doesn't mean you can't have big impact. You know, if you're donating $20, $50, $100 over time, that's going to add up to a pretty significant impact. You know, and it doesn't always have to be money. It could be time. It could be in-kind donations.
Yeah,
you know?
like those toques and socks. Those companies are probably just want a tax break.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really helpful. That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
good
exactly.
Cause.
So
it means more from a small business, a local business, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it ties you back to the community. You know, the stories that you hear, these charities, like some of these charities I never ever heard of, and you just the impact that these people are having is just incredible. It's just absolutely incredible. So to be able to contribute in a teeny tiny way is pretty cool.
Yeah. What are you gonna do about this guy on Fiverr?
You know what? He's just out there trying to make it like the rest of us. I'm just gonna support him any which way that I can. I'm just gonna keep making videos for him to use.
You should hire him and see what he gets.
See how good he is.
I want to hire him. I'm going to make a bit out of this. I'm going to see, because what if you get a message from somebody like, hey, could you just, I'm sending you something. Could you just hold it up and say that you like this thing?
Yeah.
Like maybe he'll use you for his $5.
Hey, I will gladly support him.
Did you see what he was charging or anything?
No, I haven't been on his website. We should check out his profile.
We should check it. Hey, Chris, can you, I don't know. How do we find him?
Well, if you look on my TikTok or Instagram, you'll see locallaundry. No, my personal connorbcurran.
Oh, sneaks in the both of them.
Curran.
At connorbcurran. That's awesome.
Okay, I found it.
So if you look at the one that says PSA, and then he has his link up there.
I wonder how much he's charging and for what, because he can't follow through with it.
Sean Emmanuel 1. Let's see how.
Shout out TikTok Live.
Yeah, I think we have one person. Always good for one.
It's me on my phone.
Well, stop being so stingy with those likes. tap those. Give me some of those likes.
Can't find it.
We did a live at Christmas, a giveaway.
Yeah.
It stressed me out the whole time being live. It's different. I don't know. I'm just sweating. I know they're there, even if it's
really?
one person.
Oh, I love it. It doesn't bother me. I do it now that I'm every day. You can come follow me on live when I'm just like, you got to get like 2-3 hours of computer work done.
Yeah.
I just have it there.
I thought about doing lives. I wanted to do YouTube for a while, and I was going to do live streams of just like building Lego or things like that. 'Cause it's weird that people watch. I could build a little like a Star Wars thing, and people would watch that.
I would watch that.
Okay.
I love Star Wars Lego.
I'll do it. And then I had a plan to build the set from Friends, the Central Perk, into a fish aquarium.
Cool.
And then get a fish and name it Gunther. Yeah.
Well, do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
It's just such a bad dream.
I guarantee people would watch that.
They probably would.
I mean, I'm just experimenting, right? Like I said, I get a couple of viewers here and there, but I'm gonna commit myself to testing it out and experimenting, and I'd really like to get into vlogging, and I'd really want to get onto YouTube.
Yeah.
And, we've met entrepreneurs that they vlog and YouTube, and they make more money from YouTube than they do from their business.
Yeah, and Twitch and all of them. It stresses me out. Even though we're just in a room with all these cameras and lights, it stresses me out enough. But then when it's live, I freeze up.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just like, hey.
Why? Who cares?
I don't know.
I think that's my secret weapon is I have no shame.
Yeah.
I stopped caring. I stopped having shame long ago. And I think that's the freedom that entrepreneurship gives you, because for so long you're worried about what your friends are going to say. You're worried about your colleagues, what your boss is going to say. When you're starting your own business, it's just you. You don't have to answer to anyone except for yourself. And as long as you're not doing anything like too stupid or too dumb, but I'm just...
Or I do something very stupid and dumb. Eliminate shame right off the hop. Like, should I streak?
Get it out of the way.
I'm gonna go streaking at the next Sam's game.
I don't know if that's shameful enough. I think you got it. Like that's that's
something.
old news.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm getting more comfortable. How long were you always just? Did you feel like a natural when you turned the camera on?
No, I mean it was awkward. It just takes practice, like anything. But
now you do it every day.
I do it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, with not very much success. I'm the king of 200 views, but...
Well, you have to cast a big net, they say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just... Dustin said a quote the other day, which I really liked, that he heard from somewhere, that show me a man who experiments and I'll show you a successful man. I'm just throwing spaghetti to the wall, 9 to 5, every single day, seeing what sticks. And if something sticks, let's go a little deeper. That's how I started this whole thing. I had just had this crazy idea. So, I'll just give it a whirl. Google search how to make teacher company, blah, 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 I first posted this when I came out with the business. I posted on Reddit, the Calgary subreddit. Hey, I got this shirt, Calgary Community Shirts. And people just roasted me. They thought they were like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. They're like, did you use hipster logo generator to come up with these designs? And I just got raked through the coals. But I was like, okay, like I didn't care. Like this person actually had a really good point. I'll try this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't use
That's why
designs.
I love Reddit. It's just the right amount of toxic.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
It is helpful as long as you don't take anything personally.
Yeah.
I don't take anything personally.
Yeah, that's good. It worked out for you. I take things personally. Let's see what the comments say. Yeah. No, I'm going to cut my hair after this episode. Whatever they say, I'll do anything.
Just please like me.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the freedom in entrepreneurship. It's you just stop caring what other people think.
Are you ever going to expand outside of clothes?
Yep. I mean, I'd love to do accessories. I'd love to get into bags. I think there's a big opportunity in bags, backpacks, that kind of thing. I'd love to expand into accessories for sure. But I tried my hand at tech a long time ago. I don't think I'll ever get into tech or anything, but I love business. I love business. So
what about slides?
Slides?
Yeah.
Like
flip flops kind of thing.
Absolutely. I think there's a massive opportunity for slides.
I want to get into clothing eventually one day, and I was just thinking a hat, a sweatshirt, and slides.
Perfect. Why one day? Why not today?
Okay. Well, we'll talk after the show.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Why not? It's right. I just told you how easy it is.
You actually did. You gave me the roadmap, and I didn't listen, I guess. But I've thought about it a lot.
You could start that today. I can show you the printful.com. You can start a hat, t-shirt, slides today. Okay. Now, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be your big grandiose vision, but it's a start, and you'll be able to test things and see what works. And you'll be like, why am I wasting my time with hats and sweaters? These slides are taking off like crazy. Or like, that slides was not a great idea because my hats are doing so well. Or nothing selling. Let's move on to something else.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they make two mistakes. They say, one day I'd like to do it, or they go all in and they spend their life savings and they buy every single slide in North America,
That's usually how I operate.
And that's dangerous too.
I try not to, but
yeah,
usually I just buy everything I can, and then it doesn't work out in a couple months, and I try to sell everything that I bought. So we'll see. But maybe a hat press could make them. I don't know.
You could. You don't need to.
Okay. I'll talk to you after. But then I could actually get some stuff through local laundry maybe and just figure out.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what you do. You get the hat press. You want to go to the hat press? Get the hat press. Stream it. right?
Right.
Go live. Talk about how you're making the hats. These are handmade hats. Dudder handmade hats, you know?
Yeah.
And you're just, and then you're streaming, you build a following. That could be something.
We got to talk. We got to talk.
We're talking right now.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea, though. Streaming everything.
That's what I want to do. Like, that's like, this live is only like the first little bit. I want to take it up a notch. Like, you know, I've shared with you my vision for how I want to build this.
Mhm.
Like, I want to invite you in and bring you along on the journey and be transparent, the highs, the lows.
There's a guy I watch on YouTube who was on Nelk. He was part of Nelk.
Yep.
He went and made his own company called Sunday.
Yep. Does it close?
It's closed.
Yes. Yeah.
And he is documenting the whole thing through YouTube. He left Nelk, got sober, and just went into the clothing side of it. And that's really interesting, and I love it. And you should do something just
People
like
like
that.
it. You know,
Like the behind-the-scenes stuff
yeah.
could be really interesting.
Absolutely. People
Yeah.
want to see how the sausage is made. Like,
Yeah.
like you've been to our warehouse. Like,
Well, I don't want to see how sausage particularly is made, but yeah, in your case, it's different.
yeah,
yeah.
So you just have to invite people in. It's just finding the time and
The warehouse is fun.
it's
a vibe.
It is a vibe.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mess right now, but it's, I don't know. I like being there. It's,
Yeah.
It's fun. It's cool. The people there are awesome. And I like inviting people in. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I just got to do it.
you've got it. What are we at, Chris?
You're right on the
For
clock
time?
again.
At 55.
51 minutes.
I have this internal clock. I should start keeping, instead of cutting the what are we at for time, I like to see that I'm always exactly where I want to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, you were 1 minute off your standard.
Yeah, I just know. So we're pretty much, we can wrap at any time. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, I just want to personally thank you. I mean, you've been a number one, like, you've been a massive supporter of us
Yeah.
since for a long time, you know, and it really means a lot. You know, it doesn't go unnoticed. Like you said, you got 12, 13 pieces of local laundry. That goes a long way. When you create something, you take a little nothing, put a little bit of nothing else, and you slap it together and you create something. You know, you put your heart and soul. And then people out there, because we didn't know each other, we were strangers, and you saw some sort of value in buying this. You know, buying into this vision and mission, or you just like the closer. I don't know. There's something you like that urged you to purchase, not once, but multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how much it means. Like, it means the world to me. So I do, like, I want to say thank you for always being there for us. Hey, we need models. We need this. Like, this is why I love what we're doing, because we have a community of people that are willing to step up, support us any which way that they can. And honestly, it's what keeps me going, because I love it and it means the world to me. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
No problem. And I'm going to be sudsy, little sudsy.
Little
I'm
suds.
going to go to events, and I'll have an attitude. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Little Sudsy's got all the dirty laundry. Like,
Oh.
you're like the town gossip, you know? You're like, oh, you want some dirty laundry? Like,
There you go.
I got it all.
Yeah.
Connor dyes his beard.
Well, I sort of just end these things by taking the headphones off, and I'm done. So thanks for coming.
Thank you.